Would you survive one day inside a Victorian London mansion if you were born below stairs? The house wakes before the people who live in it even move. It wakes in pieces. The most important part is not the family upstairs, but the hidden system that controls everyone inside the house. In the 1870s, these mansions looked like comfort from the street. But inside they worked like machines driven by heat, silence, and invisible labor. In this video, you will move through the building from basement to dining room and into the walls that hide the system. In the basement, coal dust hangs in the air long after it has settled, fine enough to cling to skin, to hair, to the damp wool of aprons, dry and bitter on the tongue, with a faint metallic edge that never quite leaves the mouth. Even at noon, this place does not know daylight. At dawn, it exists only as labor. Only the range gives it form. Its iron belly glows low and red as the first fire catches, breathing heat into the room in slow pulses, cracking once before settling, while shadows pull back just enough to reveal stone walls slick with old moisture and shelves worn smooth by decades of unseen hands. A girl crosses the floor with careful steps. She knows that speed creates sound, and sound carries. She does not hurry. Her shoes are thin, the cold of the flagstones rising straight through them and into her legs as she reaches the sink and turns the handle, water striking iron hard and fast, numbing her fingers before the work has truly begun. She plunges her hands in without flinching, scrubbing as sand grinds against stone in a steady rhythm that fills the room. It is the sound of morning. Above her, the house holds its breath. Thick doors remain shut, velvet curtains blocking the weak London light, bedrooms sealed in a quiet broken only by a cough, a sigh, the scrape of someone shifting in a bed too soft for its own good. Timbers creak, pipes knock once, and somewhere far above, a clock ticks toward an hour that does not yet matter. No bell yet. The knowledge hangs in the air like a held breath. Boots stand in careful rows in the servants' corridor, blacked to a dull shine as a boy bends over them in the half-light, counting under his breath, because if he loses track, he must begin again. No one speaks unless necessary. Words carry, walls listen. Somewhere deep within the walls, metal trembles. Not a ring, not yet, just the faint vibration of a system always on the edge of calling. Every head lifts, seconds stretch, then nothing. Work resumes, quicker now. No bell yet, for now, because when the bell finally speaks, the house stops being a place and becomes a weapon. The cook arrives without announcement. There is no door slam, no raised voice, just a shift in the air, as if the room itself has straightened. One moment the kitchen is quiet, but working, hands moving, breath controlled. Next, it is ordered. Bowls appear where they are needed. A chopping board is pulled forward. Knives strike wood in quick, confident rhythms. The fire is opened and fed. Iron doors swung wide. Heat blooms outward, pressing against skin, turning breath heavy. The room becomes a furnace, alive and demanding. She does not ask for space. Space is taken. Her sleeves are rolled high. Her hands are thickened by years of burns and scalds. She tastes the air, the heat, the fire. One glance is enough to know what has been neglected and what will not be tolerated. Dough is slapped and folded with practiced force. It resists, then yields. Porridge thickens in its pot, steam rising in slow, relentless waves. Fat hisses as it meets iron. A kettle begins to scream and is silenced at once, its lid rattling once before settling. Meat hangs from hooks along the far wall, dark and heavy. A haunch drips steadily into a pan below. The sound is soft, persistent. It has been dripping since before dawn and will not stop until someone makes it stop. No one speaks unless spoken to. Instructions come short and low, never repeated. A nod replaces a sentence. A look replaces a warning. Mistakes are noted without comment and remembered later. Fires are lifted from the range and carried upward, one by one, cradled in iron pans. Ash scatters despite care, dusting rugs woven in distant mills, shipped across oceans, never meant to be touched by coal-blackened hands. No one comments. It will be cleaned. Footsteps move along the back stairs, careful and quick. Doors open just enough. Close again. The house above remains sealed, still asleep, unaware of the strain below it. The kitchen grows louder without raising its voice. Steam coats the ceiling. Sweat darkens collars. Time compresses. There is always more to be done than there are hands to do it. The house is already running, but when they are, everything will be ready. And no one will ask how. The first bell doesn't ring loudly. It twitches. A faint vibration runs through the walls, metal answering metal somewhere deep inside the house's body. It is almost nothing, a tremor more than a sound. But it is enough. In the servants' corridor, every head lifts at once. Hands pause mid-motion. A cloth stills against leather. A knife hovers above a board. Breath catches, then holds. The house itself seems to listen. Seconds stretch thin. Then the vibration fades. The bell stops. A false alarm. Breaths are released quietly, carefully, as if even relief might be overheard. No one speaks. Work resumes at once, but faster now, sharper at the edges. Movements tighten. Mistakes become less forgivable when the bells have begun to stir. They always come eventually. The bells are everywhere. They hide behind walls, beneath floors, inside shafts, and hollow spaces no one ever sees. Wires run through the house like veins, linking rooms that will never share air or light. A single pull upstairs sets the whole system trembling below. Each room has its own bell. Each bell has its own voice. A short, clipped ring from the breakfast room. A longer, heavier pull from the master's study. A rapid, impatient jangle from a bedchamber where time is already being lost. Everyone knows the differences. No one needs to ask which bell has sounded. The sound carries meaning with it, urgency, irritation, expectation. No bell is ever ignored. Ignoring one is worse than spilling wine, worse than breaking china. Objects can be replaced, delays cannot. A bell unanswered becomes a memory, and memories have consequences. Downstairs, a young maid glances toward the corridor where the indicators hang. Small wooden labels, each corresponding to a room above. They sit still now, waiting. Somewhere overhead, a hand hesitates over a cord. The house tightens around the moment. Then it comes. The bell rings in full. By evening, the house is at full strain. What happens in this mansion does not stay here. It is a model of Victorian power, comfort bought with hidden exhaustion, status held by invisible systems. Every room is warm now. Fires burn steadily. Gaslight hums behind glass, turning walls amber and faces smooth. The day's work has narrowed into a single purpose. This moment. Courses emerge in careful order. Soup arrives first, carried level, bowls never touching the tray's edge. It is cleared before the surface cools. Fish replaces it, pale and gleaming. Then meat, heavy and rich, cut and served without comment. Each dish disappears before the table can feel empty. Absence is not permitted here. Glasses are filled and refilled. Claret, hock, champagne, each poured at the correct moment, each held by the stem. Plates vanish as soon as forks rest. Nothing lingers except conversation. Men speak of money and policy, of railways and trade, of votes counted elsewhere. Their voices are confident, unhurried. They lean back in their chairs, hands loose, the work of the day already behind them. Women discuss ideas carefully, never too carefully. Books, lectures, scandals softened into anecdotes. Opinions offered lightly, withdrawn just as lightly. Laughter rises at the right moments. Music follows. A piano open, a song chosen that offends no one. The house glows. Below stairs, feet throb. Serving is silent. Plates are lifted just so, fingers placed where they will not be seen. Eyes remain lowered. Backs remain straight. No one eats until the family is finished. No one sits. Hunger is postponed. Fatigue is ignored. Time stretches thin. When the final guests depart, cloaks reclaimed and carriages summoned, the front door closes with a soft, definitive sound. The house exhales. Chairs are pushed back, candles gutter. Laughter fades from the walls. But the work is not done. No one sees the hands that keep it breathing. No one hears the work continuing in the narrow spaces between walls and floors. The systems waiting, the wires stretched taut, the fires reduced to embers but never allowed to die. The house holds itself together through the night. By morning, it will all begin again. The bell will ring. The fires will light. Water will be carried upward. And the house will wake, as it always does, before anyone who owns it ever stirs. And somewhere below stairs, someone is already awake.